Hi, this is Preeti from the Kriya team, and in today's video we're going to do a deep dive into acne and what Ayurveda says about acne, how it views acne, what are the kind of diet and lifestyle practices Ayurveda recommends to help control acne, and finally what is a good skincare regimen for people with acne. So Ayurveda says that two doshas are particularly involved when it comes to acne. One is Pitta dosha and the other is Kapha dosha. Now Pitta dosha by its nature is drava or slightly wet and oily, and Kapha by its nature is excessively oily, thick and clogged. So you have a combination of these two factors leading to acne. Now this can come because you are inherently high in Pitta and Kapha because of the nature of your Prakriti. It could also come in particular life stages. For example, you have a lot of stress at work, you're a student going through competitive exams. Because of the kind of food that you're eating, food which is rich in Pitta and Kapha tends to trigger these two doshas. So the basic two doshas which are responsible for acne are Pitta and Kapha, and these two doshas can be triggered depending on the kind of food that we eat, our life stage and the stress levels that we have. This also is triggered in certain medical conditions like PCOD and PCOS. During times of hormonal imbalance or changes in the hormonal levels, for example, when children enter their teens or when women become pregnant. Because Ayurveda understands that Pitta and Kapha are the root of acne, the whole approach in Ayurveda to treat acne is very, very different from the Western cosmetic approach. For example, in Western cosmetic science, we are told to use very harsh and very strong cleansers to remove the sebum, which can lead to the presence of whiteheads, blackheads and acne. But in Ayurveda, because we understand that Pitta is one of the root factors of acne, we are asked to be extremely gentle and soothing, because Pitta by its fiery nature responds very badly when you try to be harsh with it, right? So like fire, if you try to over cleanse Pitta, it will react by producing more and more sebum. So the route in Ayurveda is to treat Pitta very gently by using cooling, soothing and gentle herbs. Now Kapha is also involved in acne. So in Kapha, because the nature of the oiliness is thick, clogging and deep-seated, Ayurveda also recommends that we use deep cleansing astringent herbs that help slowly dry up the excessive oil secretions. But the key over here is to balance both the Pitta and the Kapha nature of acne and use gentleness and thoroughness. So does changing your products alone help? No, because Ayurveda, as you know, is a deep-seated holistic science which says that what we see on our skin and what we see on our hair is merely a result of the food that we eat, our lifestyle practices and some of the other factors that are very, very important to health, harmony and balance, like sleep, controlling stress levels and how we plan our day. So any skincare program in Ayurveda, especially one that is designed to tackle acne, must look at some of the practices that we need to follow in our lifestyle, that we need to modify, and also look at diet swaps that are very, very essential to control acne by controlling Pitta and Kapha aggravating foods. It's very important to be smart about your food choices when it comes to acne. Actually, when it comes to most things in Ayurveda. So in acne, we're trying to control Pitta and Kapha dosha. So here are some simple food swaps that can help. If you love cheese, well, cheese is fatty, sharp and sour, so it aggravates both Pitta and Kapha. Switch out from cheese to paneer, not too much, just occasionally. Paneer is sweeter than cheese, so it does not aggravate Pitta, although it is high in fat, so it will aggravate Kapha. Switch out from curd to buttermilk, because curd aggravates both Pitta and Kapha. Buttermilk is astringent, so it helps shrink acne and inflammation. Switch out from maida to whole wheat. Maida is very clogging and it aggravates Kapha. Whole wheat is more nourishing and takes a little bit more time to get absorbed, so it doesn't convert as quickly to fat and clogging deposits like maida does. Switch out from commercial salt to Sendav namak. Commercial salt triggers Pitta very quickly. Sendav namak is naturally low in saltiness as a taste, so it is better when you have acne. Switch out from processed white sugar to slightly unrefined sugars like Khansari sugar. If you love eating Chinese food, it is very high in vinegar and Ajinomoto. Both of these trigger acne. So switch out of these foods, and if you're using vinegar a lot at home for salads and dressings, use lemon juice instead. Red and green chilies trigger Pitta. They're very sharp, very acidic. Switch to pepper, which is a milder form of heat. If you like eating seafood, especially saltwater seafood, because it is literally growing in salt is very pitta triggering. Occasional river fish, which is sweeter than saltwater fish, is better. Drop other seafood like shrimp, oyster. They will aggravate acne. Commercial sauces and preservatives are very high in citric acid and excessive salts. These trigger inflammations. Avoid these. Drop alcohol and chocolate. Both trigger inflammations like acne. Control your intake of dessert because all desserts trigger kapha, especially at night because we do not have the high ability to digest sweets at night. Cold sweets like ice creams trigger pitta kapha, leading to pus-filled cystic acne. So we looked at food swaps, but how about the way we eat food? Ayurveda suggests many changes to the way you eat food to ensure that you process the nutrients from your food well and you don't end up overloading your body with toxins, because we know in pitta kapha conditions like acne, excessive ama deposits or toxin deposits due to undigested or excessive foods is also one of the reasons why acne triggers. So following the Ayurvedic food clock and determining how much to eat at each meal is very important. Many of us end up eating a very large meal at dinner when it is very difficult for the body to digest food. So switching to lunch as the heaviest meal helps. Finishing your dinner as close to sunset as possible, at least by 8:30, really helps. Completing your day, especially if you have cystic acne, completing your night, especially if you have cystic acne, with a glass of bearably hot water, helps the body digest some of the food that we've been giving it the whole day. And drinking well-boiled water through the day also helps improve the flushing out of toxins from the body, right? So making all of these changes both to the kind of food that we eat and how we eat our food makes a huge impact on acne. So we spoke about the diet swaps and how to eat. Now, what about the lifestyle changes that we need to make when we have acne? Thoughtful exercise, planning our day and ensuring that we don't get overstressed with our day helps control pitta, which helps control acne. In Ayurveda, the acharyas tell us that our mental states are very closely linked to our physical states. So each dosha has a counterpart in the mental state and the physical state. So in the physical state, when pitta is aggravated, it leads to conditions like acne, hair graying, hair thinning. In the mental state, it actually leads to anger management issues, being over-focused on work, being too type A, and being unable to let go of things, right? So when we look at behaviors that lead to these kind of mental states and try and modify them, we also help control the physical manifestation of these mental states in our body, right? So controlling our day, building in fun, building in hobbies into our day, ensuring that we bucket and prioritize our time well and don't overstretch either in the home front or in the work front, and basically leading a harmonious, balanced life helps control conditions like acne. So for adults with cystic acne, where there is a deeper inroad of kapha dosha and you have a higher production of sebum and pus-filled acne, we usually suggest a combination of the teen anti-acne product and the adult anti-acne product. So a combination of the adult anti-acne face wash and the teen anti-acne face mask works really well. If you're trying to treat your teen's acne problem, then we suggest just going for the teen anti-acne products, used in the same way like the adult anti-acne products. The teen face wash to be used twice a day, once in the morning and once before going to sleep, and the teen anti-acne face mask to be used twice a week. Suppose you're an adult who doesn't really have acne now, but you've really suffered horribly as a teen, and you're trying to deal with your acne scars alone, and you just have a very small outbreak of acne once in a way, then you don't need the anti-acne products at all. A combination of the Kriya Classic and the Kriya After Sun products will work really well. These two actually help lighten acne scars, balance the sebum production, and also help even out the complexion. So you might have noticed that in this entire skincare program, I haven't mentioned our serums at all. We generally don't suggest serums if you have acne, because all our serums are actually oil-based, and unless we balance the sebum properly on skin, using an oil-based serum can further trigger acne. So we don't suggest any of our serums until we're at least 2 months into the acne program, and we can see a visible shrinking in the size of the acne and a visible balancing of the sebum. Once that's done, we usually transition people from our anti-acne products, or then we start adding in a serum. I hope you found this entire video, which was a deep dive into acne and how Ayurveda looks at acne useful. In this video, we covered not just an Ayurvedic skincare regimen for acne, but also diet swaps, changes to how you eat, and lifestyle changes to help control acne holistically. If you like this video, do consider sharing it with your friends, and do like this video, leave your comments below, and subscribe to our channel for more such interesting comments. Thank you for watching.